In this lecture, we're going to take a look at how we can make a put request from K6. But first of all, what is a put request? A put request is essentially something that can help us update an existing resource. So for example, we have created a crocodile, and after a while, we want to update it, want to change something about it. Now, how this is implemented really depends from API to API. Some APIs have only put, which allows you to do also partial updates. But for example, this API only allows us to do an entire update. And I'm going to show you in a second what it means. So if you're going to take a look here at put, we're going to first see how this endpoint is constructed. So we need to know the crocodile ID. So let's go in Postman and try to understand how this endpoint is supposed to work and how we can actually update the crocodile. So first of all, let's take a look at what crocodiles we have, and probably we need to get a new token. Okay, so this token is no longer valid. Let's go to the login page, grab a new token. And with that token, we can go ahead to this request, which is getting all our crocodiles. So we can see here a list of entire crocodiles. What I'm going to do here, I want to keep this authentication request here. So I'm going to duplicate the tab. And we're going to try to get only one crocodile, and that is the crocodile with this ID. So I'm going to append here the ID and / at the end. So now we're getting our random crocodile because we have this authorization data. All right, now we want to update this crocodile. So let's go ahead and select put, because this is also the endpoint that we're supposed to use. So we're going to use put here. And what we're going to get here is an error. So we're going to get a 400 bad request. It's telling us that name, sex, and date of birth are necessary. So in order, if you want to make some updates here, we need to provide all these fields. This is essentially like creating this crocodile from scratch. The only thing that stays the same is the ID. So we cannot change the ID. The ID is given by the system, but you can update anything else. So let's take a look at how we have created this crocodile in the first place. So let's take a look at this request here. And we're going to take the exact same body. So I'm going to go here to the body, select raw, select JSON, and I'm going to paste this. And I'm going to change only the name here. So I'm going to say updated random croc. Let's run it once again. And we're going to see here status 200 OK. And we're going to get this information. I want you to notice that the ID that we have here in the address is still the same ID. And of course, if we're going here over the endpoint that gives us all the crocodiles that we have, we're going to see here our updated crocodile. So essentially, the ID stayed the same, but all the other information has been updated. So let's take a look now at how we can get this request to run in K6 as well. So in terms of the code, we should take a look at the post request, because this is pretty similar to how we have created a post request. So I'm going to go ahead here and copy this request as we have it here. I'm going to go here right at the end and simply paste it. Now, of course, there's still one difference, and that is the address itself. So I'm going to copy the address, and this here are backticks, and we're using this variable here. So this allows us to get to the right address where we can actually update the crocodile. Just want to make sure that we have everything there. And of course, instead of post, we're going to select here put. Okay. So even with put, it's always a good idea to check what do we need. So let's check here the instant documentation by hovering over it. So the first parameter is the URL. We have this, then we have the body, and then we have other params. For example, we have here the headers and the content type. So I'm going to simply use here updated random croc, and we can go ahead and run the script. So if we're going through the logs, what we will see here, the last request is the one that is interesting for us. So we're making a put request against this endpoint. And what we're getting back is a status 200 OK. And we're also getting back in the response body what we have updated. So I'm going to see here we have updated the name in this case. So this is how we can make an HTTP put request from K6.